Okay, next let's try adding some new colors that will animate with our flame. So let's go into our flame. So click on the flame and then we'll double click, and that way we're going into our movie clip of the flame. And now maybe we'll pick maybe somewhere in the middle, and let's select our, underneath the free transform tool is the gradient transform tool, and we can now we can kind of play around with the part of the circle here of our gradient. See, we can make it skinny. You can see it changing there. And this is the size. You can make it smaller or larger. So maybe we want it to be more circular but smaller. And here's our rotation. Let's say if we maybe have it angular. Maybe give it a little bit of rotation. And in the center is how we move it. You can play around with that. Yeah, probably might want to make it a little bit. Okay, so that's how we play around with the gradient tool there. And now we'll go, and maybe we'll go select the our color palette. So let's go into our selection tool. And let's see, I guess I'm gonna have to go into my window and color. It's not showing up. My color palette. I'm just gonna put it right in there. There's my color. Okay. And say if I want to change my colors, well, I've got my radial gradient here, and just can change the colors in here. And you can see right now it's at 60%. The alpha, so it might be a little bit transparent. Let's say maybe I might want to give it maybe a bit of a hot pinkish, maybe purple hue to it. So this one's 100. This one's still, that one's 46. So make that one. Oh, it wasn't selected. So let me try that again. There we go. Yeah, make sure it's selected. There we go. Now if I want to go back and use my gradient tool, play around with that. Move it around. Maybe that blue should be a little less on the alpha. And you can kind of see it kind of merges in there. So that's just one way to kind of mess around with the colors. So you can select it, change the colors. I'm just double clicking on the kind of move these around, change their alphas. Let me go back to my gradient transform tool. That's something else you can play around with color.